Movie breakdown for the sadness. In modern-day Taiwan, medical experts and government officials butt heads over the Alvin virus, a flu-like infection. The government has refused to take large-scale measures to prevent the transmission of Alvin, and many ordinary people doubt that the virus exists at all. However, some virologists fear that it has a potential to mutate and cause serious illness. Jim and Kat, a young couple, live in Taipei. While driving to the train station, they pass a bloody crime scene. Jim drops Kat off at the station and then goes to a nearby cafe. There, a bloodied older woman with darkened eyes assaults the other customers, spitting thick mucus on one and burning an employee with hot cooking oil. The man she spat on attacks another customer. She chases Jim into the street where she's run over by a car driven by a man with the same darkened eyes and crazed expression. Jim flees back to his apartment on foot, chased by the infected locals. He texts Kat to stay where she is, promising to rescue her. Then a neighbor attacks him, cutting off 2 fingers with garden shears. Jim fends off his neighbor and manages to escape, using a cloth to try to cover the wound. Meanwhile, Kat's train is attacked by 2 infected men who stab passengers with knives and infect others, including a middle-aged businessman who has confessed his fascination with Kat. The Alvin virus transforms his anger at being rejected by her into a desire to assault and murder. As other infected passengers slaughter the others, Kat escapes from the train with Molly, a woman who was stabbed in the eye by the businessman. The businessman pursues them, armed with an axe. Kat and Molly arrive at the hospital, which is overrun with those who have been harmed by the infected. The government broadcasts an emergency message vowing to get control of the situation, but an infected general then kills the president with a grenade. The hospital patients begin to panic, distracting the police officers there, just as the businessman and other infected locals break through the doors. Kat escapes into a stairwell as the businessman assaults Molly's eye wound, infecting her. Jim escapes to the outskirts of town, passing scenes of sadism along the way. He manages to contact Kat, who tells him where she is. As they talk, he begins to cry and hallucinates that a living skull laps up his blood and sweat, signs that he's infected. The businessman continues his pursuit of Kat through the hospital's off-limit hallways, but she crushes his head with a fire extinguisher. Kat is then rescued by Dr. Wong, who has been hiding in the maternity ward. Wong explains that he attempted to find the cure for the Alvin virus, which, in its mutated form, connects the parts of the brain that govern sex and aggression. Wong also theorizes that the reason the infected cry is because they're fully aware of the terrible things they do but are completely unable to stop, likening it to resisting the urge to blink. When Kat finds an infected baby in the medical waste bin, Wong injects her with a serum of the virus to test if she's immune to it. He admits that he had conducted similar tests on the babies who had been abandoned in the ward, but all of them had become infected. Wong was forced to euthanize them. If Kat becomes infected, he will kill her too. If not, she holds the key to stopping the virus's spread. Kat manages to text her location to Jim, who has just arrived at the hospital, realizing she is immune to the virus. Wong calls for a military helicopter, intending to take her to a safe location. He warns her that without him, she will be shot on sight by the soldiers when they arrive. But as they make their way to the roof, 2 infected attack them. Wong manages to kill all of them, but is wounded. Jim then arrives, and after a struggle, kills a now infected Wong, who admits with his last breath to having enjoyed unaliving the babies. Kat realizes that Jim is infected and locks him outside the stairwell to the roof. He tells her that being infected feels wonderful and that he can think of no more loving act than to mutilate and unalive her. Disgusted and with her sanity broken, Kat flees to the roof, where she is presumably unalived by the soldiers. Grinning sadistically at the thought of Kat being unalived, Jim dies sitting against the stairwell gate.